It's time again for our favourite shoot of the summer, the Hull Pro 1 Challenge. It's a festival of shooting that year after year we pilgrimage to in the hopes of taking on the very best Barbary can throw at us. This time I'm back for my second ever Pro 1 Masterclass with Josh Brown.
And now look at your feet.
That was a mistake, wasn't it?
Well, that's a classic example of what I'm trying to get you as a shooter to fall into.
Which after last year has become one of my favourite ways of really getting under the skin of a course. The Pro 1 Challenge is a 120 bird course over 15 stands. And with 39 traps scattered across sporting and super sporting layouts, the course is always incredible and the event has a heap more to enjoy besides. Driving in, it was clear they'd raised the bar again, with traps slung high into the sky on telehandlers, daring us to take them on.
Mate, I'm super excited for today.
It's good to be back, yeah. Pro 1 Challenge 2025.
It is the best shoot of the year. Just, there's nothing that brings me a smile like coming here for Pro 1.
The 7th year now, and it's an event that's just grown over the years. Very generous of Hull to support it, and it's just become, you know, the shoot of the year. A lot of people we sort of speak to and see around, they're like, oh, we can't wait for the Pro 1 every year, like when are the dates? And yeah, it's really sort of gained momentum, and it's pretty cool.
It inspired the industry almost, that lots of other clubs are now doing a non-registered event that is designed to be enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, we get like a lot of non-competition shooters come and shoot this event now. I had a chat with David Bontoff yesterday and we were sort of discussing it, and he said, yeah, it's our Hull Cartridge Pro 1 Challenge, but actually we like to think of it as a festival of shooting, a celebration of shooting, you know.
However, for those of you who want to get better, today we're out with Josh to do a bit of a masterclass. We've got a few subjects I want to discuss with you, follow on from last year and some of the other videos we've made, while shooting some of the flagship stands of the Pro 1. Ready?
Let's give it a go.
Starting on stand throughs, the first super sporting station, I want to follow on with hold points, and I'd love for you to talk us through how to pick one and how to know that it was either too late or too early.
Yeah, so we've got 3 different targets on here, Johnny. We'll shoot the 3 of them as single targets to start off with, and then we'll go through the card. We've got 2 on report pairs and simultaneous pair. So the super sporting stands, and super sporting as a discipline, for those that are not aware of it, it's basically could have 3 or 4 different targets per station, and you shoot a combination of single targets on reports and simultaneous. So with this station here, a lot of it is exactly what we're saying there about hold points and your visual pickup points. Really important, because we're sort of transitioning from one target to the next, but also then not like a normal sporting stand where your pairs are exactly the same, the pairs then change. So you might go from one kill point to a completely different hold point if we're not careful for the other target. So we just want to make sure that we're very disciplined on where each of the hold points and where each of the visual pickup points are for each target. So when we go through the card, we know exactly where we're going to. A lot of people make mistakes I see on sort of super sporting is where the transition between the pairs, because the pairs are all different, their hold points and pickup points change every time, which is then becomes an issue.
But you still need to be very disciplined, and I guess while shooting the singles, read that when you're shooting as a sim pair, your hold point might be a little later, a little more early.
Yeah, and then obviously when we come into our simultaneous pairs, it's that again, it's like we maybe push out of our comfort zone one of the targets. The trickiest thing with super sporting is you're not shown the simultaneous pairs. So you kind of, listen, if you're up first in the station, it's a little bit of luck or unluck whether you know, there's someone in front of you shooting, or you're first up, you don't see them shots. You've got to kind of work out for yourself which way around you'll shoot the sim pair.
And so this is target reading 101, is that you should not only be reading line and speed, but also how long it's in the air to give you a vague idea of how many opportunities you're going to have to kill it versus the other sim pair target. And
sort of my job as a course editor is to try and push you out of your comfort zone in simultaneous pairs on at least one of those targets. So you might have to shoot a target slightly earlier than you'd like to, or slightly later than you'd like to.
Oh, shall we see them? That's sneaky.
B-bird from behind the panel in front.
Bang, yep.
And your C-bird right to left, stand across from behind the bank there. So what you'll notice here, Johnny, and actually throughout the duration of the course, we can't see any of the traps. So when it comes to our visuals, pickup points and our then therefore hold points, becomes a little bit trickier.
We're having to pick a natural object, not a metallic object.
Yes, and as we're in a grouse spot here, obviously we're slightly lower down, there's not a lot of stuff out there for us to pick up, use pickup points and hold points to sort of pick a spot where, geographically a spot where we're going to say, right, I'm going to go to that
Yeah, we've
tree
got some,
or
so
that
have got some set points, right? We've got like height points on this pole, so we can at least have a height point. We've got some set points in the C and the B sides and a fence in the background. We've got some things that we can definitely
and
register.
What I find is, with a lot of students, we're sort of teaching them for the first time, is that their visual pickup points and their hold points, they see a big bit of sky and they panic and think, oh, I haven't got any reference. Actually, exactly like you said, there's always something out in front of you.
You can grid it, but interestingly, we're shooting from a hole and there's not much room down here for shooters, so I presume a lot of it's going to actually happen from back there, which is a lot harder.
Yeah, you say a lot harder. I actually then think it becomes slightly easier in a way. So when you're down here, obviously you can't necessarily see exactly where those targets are landing. Up there you can. So your perspective of actually where's that target coming from and where it lands, from there can be a lot easier to read actually what is the distance on that target.
So I don't know what it looked like from back there, but for me, hold point for A and B, very happy. Hold point for C, felt too far out.
Yeah, and I think you just sort of took it for granted how far that clay was coming from and actually how much time you had to shoot it. If we look at it again, how much speed it actually is still carrying on through the end of the shot, yeah? So yes, it comes from a long way off, but it's still sort of, you've got to make a real sort of commitment, say, right, where is my kill point on that? Yeah. And I think because you've got so much time in the sky and it's in a fairly consistent line all the way across there, I don't think you were that sort of committed on where am I actually going to kill it.
Yeah, I felt a bit lackadaisical. Held late, made too big a move for a late hold.
Yeah, and then you sort of just stab at it and it's like, oh, actually, yeah. So let's go back in there again and just see a little bit more confidence on actually, right, where am I going to kill that C target?
Yeah, probably closer towards the hold flag. I'll hold and kill it at the peak.
Perfect, and obviously then just moving your eyes back behind the gun so you can see that clay clearly come into the gun and then make the move you want to.
That is something that you see repeatedly with the top shooters, is their eyes really do work back from the gun more than just off the barrel.
Yeah, and it's all about, again, it's that visual perspective. Everyone's eyes work differently, okay? So we've got to think, right, I'm going to see a glimpse of a target, but actually where am I seeing it clearest? And I say sort of our soft focus will be around where we see that glimpse and our hard focus really where we see it clearest, depending on then how much time we've got to shoot the target. So as a squad of 6 of us, we might be at a station for, what, 10 minutes? But actually our shooting time in the station is probably a minute, if that. Yeah. So we've got a minute of focusing when we're in the station, and then we've got probably, what, a minute or two focusing outside the station. So actually we need to switch on and switch off, otherwise to stay focused for that long period of time is not going to work.
And good squad mates do watch for chips and breaks, and that's important, but you don't have to be staring at it hard to notice those things.
No.
Didn't wind far enough back on that A-bird.
No, and I think actually if you now ask yourself, where did I place my eyes? Yeah, so you held out too far for it and all of a sudden you saw a blur and thought, I'm ready to go, but the gun wasn't in the right place to make that move. So all of a sudden you just jab at it and poke at a space and it's like, I haven't really made the move I want.
Work the gun, not the eyes.
Yeah, so get the gun back. Your eyes need to work 100%, but get your gun back with you, yeah? Detach your eyes from the gun, get your eyes onto your visual, bring the gun back with you, and then make the move again.
Right, okay? Let's get it done.
Let's go again.
Not switching off after that first, remembering there's 3 parts, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Part 1, transition is part 2, and part 3 is making the second shot,
exactly
not just
that.
1 and 2. And if you miss any part of that, there will be a miss.
Correct.
So next up is stand 6, and leading on from getting your hold point correct, I think getting the timing of the move and the shot is my next thing I'd love you to explain. We've got a big crosser here for you to explain with, because I think on big crossers the timing of the shot is just as important.
Definitely, and also again, big crosser, so we've got potentially lots of different places we could kill it. So we'll be really confident on where our kill point is. The big thing you'll see here again is also the transition we go from quite a high crosser to a low fast going away. So the gun holding the transition is really important. And again, having that plan of, right, once I've killed that, where am I going to? Again, where are my eyes going to, so I can make the shot I want to, not just get down here late, jab at it and hope for the best. Yeah, so that's a bit of planning which we're going to do here before we even stand in there.
Well, it's nice to see you sabotage yourself with that particular move.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a huge move, right? Because you're doing a big push and then you've got to do a big body move down to not mess that second shot up.
Again, because the bails are here and you can't see where that trap is, where that target's coming from, if your eyes aren't solely focused on exactly that point to see it clearly come to the gun, your eyes, you're searching for it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh. And
if your gun's too high, it's hiding everything, right?
You have no idea where you're going. And we're coming from a high target down to something that's very flat, sort of going away. So it's very easy if we rush down, and then we're accelerating up and we go straight to the top of it. Or we shoot this high bird, come down and we hold it too far out, the clay never gets to the gun and we just poke it a space. So it's quite a technical stand. For me, it's probably technical and big, but it's probably one of the most technically shot stands on the course because of simply that gun transition on its own.
Yeah, the first target is tough. The second target's a dolly. It's a going away target at 30 yards.
And you know what, it'd be amazing. I imagine if we flip the pair the other way around and shot the going away bird first and then come up to the tower.
Go up by 2 points ago.
But I don't want that.
Even for yourself.
Right, Johnny, let's see you shoot a few.
Okay. Oh.
Go on, do it again.
That is an incredible pair, mate.
Perfect transition there, Johnny. You almost look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, slowly but surely. If you came around with me every shoot, I always said this about Ed. If he was behind me all the time, I'd be quite good.
Yeah. So you can see from there, actually, where we're killing that first target does make such a big difference on coming down from there and when we get to.
Yeah, incredibly. Like if you take that first one right, the second one is in the bank. If you don't take that first one right, it's not. And that gets in your head, which is your job as a target setter to do exactly that. And if we said those 3 parts of the shot, if one of those goes amiss here,
and a lot
the whole thing's gone.
You're already thinking about getting down for that going away bird.
Yeah.
So you're coming to the stand, if you're not careful, you're already thinking about, right, I've got to get there.
Like your body starts to tense, ready for the move.
So then you're off on this already, like you haven't even finished the shot, and it's like, right, get that one dead. So always get the first bird on the card, get it killed, then make the move down. Have that, you know. As long as you've got a setup of where your eyes are going, where you're looking for that target, half the work's done. Now you just got to shoot.
Now, we did pull away from our lessons here and there, partly to digest what we'd learned, partly for me to digest what we discussed, and partly because it's impossible to ignore the rest of what the Pro 1 has to offer. The Trade Village is a proper treasure trove. Everything from fine leatherwork to the latest guns and gear, with hull cartridge right in the thick of it. There are practice stands if you want to warm up, or just have a more relaxed round of clays. Plus a pool shoot and even clay snooker if you fancy something different.
Ed, mate, it's good to see you.
Good to be back, good to be seen.
Excited to be on the Pro 1?
Yeah, absolutely. My sort of annual trip out to dust the cobwebs off, and we've got a brilliant day for it, so yeah, looking forward to seeing what Josh has done.
I had a little play out there, there's a lot out there you're going to like.
Oh, I'm looking forward
Lots
to
of aggression needed and lots of big stuff.
Lots of aggression.
What really makes this shoot special isn't the course or even the prizes, it's the atmosphere. It's a place where you bump into old friends, meet new ones, and end up talking guns and clays until the sun starts to set.
It's a shame not to see you, mate.
I know.
I assume you had fun out there.
Very disappointed you weren't with me, Johnny. But
Each other's lucky charm.
yeah, I missed you. Missed you a lot. We're going to have a go on this little baby. Snooker.
You feeling good?
Let's have a go.
I felt better, but yeah.
Hey, you always say that, but you shoot well. No.
The course itself, tough but fair, with just the right amount of confidence builders and humblers. And while we're here showing you the harder ones today, there were plenty out there to build up a card. Now, back to the masterclass.
Just had a little play with some sovereigns on one of your more ridiculous targets, and we both did quite well.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're there for, isn't it? Those 6.5, you know, that sort of long, slightly edgier, but still showing plenty of belly crossing target. It's out there. It's just so you want
that,
those,
70 yards?
Yeah, I'd
60?
Probably 60 yards, isn't it? But you just want that 6.5. That it's not under masses of power out there, but it's not showing you a great deal. So you just want that slightly bigger pellet, that bit more energy behind it.
And I'm going to look forward to looking at the shot now, because what it felt like was a really big gap. Whether
Yeah.
it was or not, I don't really know.
Yeah, no, and it'd just be interesting to see, you know, what it looks like through that. But definitely that bigger pellet, that sort of bit more energy behind it, just helps you on that sort of target.
What we're here for now is a bit more piston action, and I want to talk to you about when is it okay to get aggressive? Because you're very steady and really nice, and you usually take things at its optimal point, but that's not always the option.
Especially when we're sort of put in scenarios more so with like our simultaneous pairs, where we might think, right, I've got to get on and kill this, get on and shoot it, to give myself time on the other target to shoot it, you know, to actually even shoot it before it goes behind a bank or whatever.
Or at least try and have a chance at the pair.
Yeah. So here we've got stand 10 on the course, 4 different targets. A bird, Johnny, left to right rabbit. Obviously we have got a limit there.
That white marker.
Correct. So psychologically that can be a little bit like, oh, I've got to shoot it quick, but actually got plenty of time. It's okay. B bird.
Boom. Bang. Wow. Yeah. That is a simple pair. It's going to be aggression time.
Straight away, exactly. Yeah, we want to get on and kill that midi to give ourselves plenty of time to make another shot on the rabbit. Seabird coming over the sort of tree in front of us, driven midi.
Boom.
Again, quite sharp.
Yeah, that's a piston one. What's that?
Correct.
7 yards?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And then D-bird, again, sort of coming from the base of the bank in front of us, coming into the corner here, left to right.
Boom. Oh, yeah.
This is where those little blue puppies are going to come into their own and sort of give us that advantage as much as we need. So for me, 100% every target's within 20 yards? And now look at your feet.
That was a mistake, wasn't it?
Well, that's a classic example of what I'm trying to get you as a shooter to fall into. Again, the targets, nothing wrong with them in terms of difficulty. They're very straightforward.
They're lesson targets.
But the complex part of it is the transition between the two and how you set up. So if we go back in, we see our feet are set up facing that midi, so we're sort of very square to the midi. A, we don't move the feet, but B, because we're so fixed on that, our body physically going left to right as a right-hander going the wrong way, we can't get round that.
Yeah. And you go, however you do when you go in that position, you're no longer looking down it properly.
Correct. So for me, as a right-hander like yourself, Johnny, anything going away from myself, whether it be a teal, overhead duck, you know, going away bird, flat going away, whatever, I would always primarily set myself up for this, set the other target, whether it's first or second, and then shoot the going away bird from that kind of position if I don't have time
less
to
body
move.
movement.
Correct, because I can shoot anything going away from me, I can shoot across my body, yeah? So that, for example, that midi, if I'm in here, my feet and my shoulders are nice and square to where I want to kill that standard coming in here, and I can just shoot that midi from there, because it's that movement. I can drill with the left hand and get there.
Boom.
So much easier.
Yeah, I'll move that foot by an inch to open my hip up.
And you, like I say, if you actually set yourself up right here in the first place, there's a possibility you don't even need to do that move. Yeah, we can be here, bang, and then just turn and come around. Listen, it's how comfortable you are and whether you're happy using your core like you are. I mean, I'm a massive fan of getting that core moved and making sure our shoulders are square to the kill point for the target. But I must sort of say that anything that's crossing, I'm going to favour more than a going away target.
Because you need your body to do this. You don't need your body. You can use your shoulders.
I can use my hips and my left arm to push into that if I need to.
Okay, so final pair is the one I'm most interested in. This is where we're going to discuss the difference between aggression and stabbing.
Yeah, so you've got the Simo pair, so the A and the B sim, so that's your sharp midi away from you and then that left to right rabbit with the limit. So here it's a massive help for us to be aggressive on that going away bird, because then it gives us lots of time to shoot the rabbit in a comfortable position. You know, rabbits, we know what they like to bounce, they like to not behave consistently sometimes, so we've got to take that all into consideration when we go there. We don't want to just, you know, take our time on the midi, shoot it late, and then flash at the rabbit last minute.
Yeah, especially since we've got a post that says no more.
We've got to shoot it by that limit, and also the rabbit it's not a great distance away, and it's not under a great deal of speed. Yeah, so we know for looking at it, those two, that combination of the speed and the distance, the lack of speed and the lack of distance, equals that it probably doesn't want much forward allowance. So we're going to use our bit of gun speed from behind it to the bird to kill it. Okay, so we don't want to make ourselves in a position where we've got little time or very less time on the rabbit to then have to flash at it last minute and probably overlead it.
Aggression is a hard thing, right? Because you
Perfect.
just have to really trust the move, which is where trusting a move is better than seeing pictures.
Trusting your eyes,
Yeah.
And listen, that's the biggest part of our shooting. Is our eyes are the most important part of what we're doing. Using our eyes, I'm a massive fan of like getting our eyes working as much as possible, and trusting your eyes. Don't look at that. Don't look at the end of it. You know where it is, but ignore it. Yeah. We start to check that, start to check a gap, we're knackered. And then when it comes to being aggressive and and if we end up looking at that, it's game over. So it's just trusting your eyes, knowing your whole point is spot on, and trusting your eyes that as soon as that clay come into the gun or past the gun and you make that move, you squeeze the trigger on, I say instinct, but on what you see. I think we could look at another pair here as well, and just sort of going back to aggression, and let's just have a quick look at that A bird on report the C. So we're going for that low rabbit and then up to that very sharp driven, which we don't have masses of time to shoot. Now, we know the driven we see over the top of the tree in front of us here, but it's very quick and it's a blur.
Yeah.
So the danger is we think, oh, I've got to be quick on the driven because it's getting to me. So we rush the rabbit, rush up here, come to the top of the tree and just flash straight in front of this thing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't want any lead,
You need to make sure you're on it, right? It's a Skeet Station 8, NASA Skeet middle peg. Just cover it, bang.
So coming back to feet positioning, we're going to square ourselves up to shoot the rabbit somewhere probably just not far from the limit. Okay, so we're nice and controlled, bang. And then we can either leave the gun in or out, it's entirely up to you how you feel comfortable, but hold up above the tree and watch the clay come through and then use our hips.
When we say
keep our
watching
weight
through the gun,
forward.
you're literally looking past the gun with your eyes low, and your eyes come up to the gun, the move starts
Yeah,
back.
because actually the driven's quick here, but we've got plenty of time to shoot it here should we need to.
If you're flexible enough.
Yeah, so as long as we're set up comfortable, we use our hips and our core, and the weight stays forward, we can shoot the rabbit bang, come back, and then we can make the move here we want to. It's a much more controlled movement rather than just poking up space and hoping for the best.
Your point there really is use aggression for one section of the shot, not the whole thing, and aggression means a confident move, not a ah!
But listen, it's based on where you first see that target clearest to where you want to kill it, right? So that's when you'll think, right, I've got to be aggressive here and I've got to get on with it. But you've got to have a plan of where your eyes are looking, where is the clay coming onto the gun or just past the gun or whatever, so you can apply it properly. Yeah, we can be aggressive. Anyone can stick the gun out in front and just shoot into a space, but then there's potentially that element of luck involved because we don't really have the line or the speed of the target. We're just poking at a gap. So
Aggression isn't luck.
we need to be quick and we need to be aggressive, but we've got to have a plan and be controlled, and it's based on that sort of first visual pickup point to that kill point and how much time we've got.
Look, this is one of my favourite stands at every Pro 1, the singles.
Stand 13, unlucky for some.
Well, if you're gonna put a big gap on something, at least you don't have to shoot it once.
Any shooter gonna hit one of these long crosses here, one of these long battus, they're gonna feel like they are champion. Yeah, and it's they don't have to be tortured and shoot 4 of them or 5 of them. So we can push the limits a little bit, but still make it enjoyable.
Yeah, but not have someone lose 4 very precious clays.
Exactly, and I think this is where you're going to want some of these.
Yeah, every year this is where, they've usually come out a few times to be honest, Josh, but this is the place. There's nothing ever on the single stand that doesn't require death. Right, as much as we've got a whole cartridge support, it's nice to see most stands have a sponsor for some sort of prize.
We've got half the stands have got, either if you straight the stand or you hit a flash target, you're given a special ticket with your bib number written on. That goes into a draw which we do on Prize Giving Sunday. Edward's Eye have been very generous and given us a pair of their sunglasses. SWAT have given us a headset, Tiga have given us a set of chokes, Blaza have given us some branded merch from them, same with Perazzi. I mean, the list goes on, it's fantastic.
So we've got 5 singles.
We'll shoot them in alphabetical order, so A through to E as they are on the card, and let's see what we get to.
All right. What's interesting watching you do those is there's actually a time and a place also on these big targets, like that final one, where you were still very aggressive.
Yeah, and again, you've got to have that plan of where am I going to kill it and where am I putting my gun out. That Batu comes from a long way off, but I don't want my muzzles all the way back here because I'm just lots of gun speed where it's not relative to where I want to kill the target. It's just basically chucking and hoping. So holding out a little bit further, letting the clay produce itself and get on a line that I want, where I want to shoot it. then I can insert the gun and drive away.
But when it happens, what that happened was you touched and you just went back.
Go. And that's the thing with that aggression is we're aggressive and we make that move. And as soon as we open up that space in front, dead. Yeah.
Without breaking the boundary of too much aggression when it becomes wild.
Not going out in front with a big gap and then just trying to check and measure what it is and then squeezing the trigger, because at that point the gun's
My favourite move.
The gun's then dead. Yeah. So yeah, you've got to have that plan. Obviously the midi off the tower there is a fair old target, so it's the same thing there. I guess the exception could be this flat going away bird. You might want to just go on and kill that and think, right, bang, bang, and almost double tap it quickly, because the second barrel is absolutely miles away.
50 yards edge on. I mean, these all do it, but you're hoping.
It's funny how you didn't call distraction on the pigeon when you killed the rabbit there.
Didn't even see the pigeon until I pulled the trigger and I realised there was a blur from it. And luckily that pigeon didn't just get...
No, I mean, I'm amazed how that did not get shot there. I mean, that's, yeah, one lucky pigeon. But nice, listen, the rabbit you shot nice and late, nice and controlled. You had your plan of where you want to kill it.
Yeah.
It's so variable up there, that seabird, you know, it's coming down the hill and rolling, doing so much. We've got a limit there.
Yeah.
Use the limit to our advantage, yeah, we can kill it. That's probably the best place to shoot it, is 10 foot before that limit. So let's let it roll into there. We need a second shot.
Confidence, because if you don't pull that trigger fast enough and you miss, there's only one.
And there's no point being connected with the target early on as it appears above the bank there, because it's all over the shop. It's not where we want to kill it. So just let it roll, let it do its thing, and then we can insert the gun and make the move.
Mate, thank you. That's a real interesting thing. I think a lot of people do just not feel confident to put a big gap on that quick.
Yeah.
Because it's scary.
And I think, like I say, having the fact, I've got 2 shots. Almost, I've got to use 2 shots, and we just, if we're not careful, poke and hope. So at the A-bird there, breaking it down, it's actually like a 40-yard belly-on crosser. It's not too scary, just nice and controlled, nice and smooth. It's fairly sort of normal stuff there. The big bird off the tower, okay, that can be quite daunting. Just don't get lost out in front and just poke the gun out in front and hope, yeah? Let the clay produce itself, insert the gun on the back, and then just drive through. For me anyway. If you're more comfortable standing out in front because you want to see that gap, that's fine. Just know where you're at.
I think the translation there, by the way, in my head, is that I've shot the Pro 1 for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And there's always something like this here. The amount of targets I see broken with the second shot as a, not even a poke and hope, but they take a long shot and then they go, pull, nice proper pull away, I'll swing through it, and they break it. And it's very interesting to see that second shot kill when they don't do that hang on.
Yeah.
Epic.
Good.
Josh, mate, that was hero grade information. I really enjoyed that, and I hope you guys did too. And we've still got a few days left of the Pro 1.
Yeah, very exciting. So we're only on day 2. Weather looks fairly consistent all week. Probably a tad windier today, but no, it's good. And listen, it's hopefully what we've done there will, let's say, help not only yourself, Johnny, maybe, but
helps me, mate.
Help those that you're watching this. And like I say, it's a bit of insight into what I'm trying to do in terms of setting the targets and what my thought process is, and yeah, give you a bit of an idea of what we're looking for.
You know, every time I talk to an American at a competition, their game is to get inside the target setter's head.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that's really vital, and getting inside yours today has been epic.
Yeah, I mean, you know, anyone can chuck a trap out and chuck a 60-yard crosser. You know, we have done it a little bit today, but you know, anyone can chuck a trap out and throw a clay. Yeah, but listen, the ability to sort of make it appear very straightforward, but then you pull the trigger and you miss, and you're like, why the hell have I missed that? That's what I'm trying to get you to, and hopefully that's happened today, so we'll see.
Thanks, mate. And,
pleasure.
We're going to go check it out, and we'll see you back for the super final.
Yeah, very exciting.
Already, and there's only going to be bigger, I expect.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a whole pool of shooters. We've got probably another 1,000 shooters to come through nearly. So yeah, let's see how we get on and see where we get to.
Now the Pro 1 runs over 5 days. And after those 5 days, the top 6 shooters head into a Sunday evening super final. The scores in the super final range from 112 to 115 out of 120. Tight as can be. These 6 shooters faced a challenging 25-bird course. And then after an extra peg was thrown in, we had a tie for first place between James Atwood and Dan Bishop. That meant a sudden death shoot-off. And after 4 tense shots, Dan Bishop emerged on top.
What did you make of the course? And you came in with this fantastic score to start with. What did you think after that?
I thought the course was fantastic. It had everything. This shoot in particular showed that you can still challenge and still create some interesting targets with people that are shooting grounds a lot.
And nothing too far away.
There were some long birds. There was some long birds, but I don't mind that. And,
But the ammo did it for you.
Absolutely, yeah. The Sovereign 6.5 did it lovely.
Yeah, it's great to see a new name on the trophy.
Thank you very much. It's been a fantastic shoot, and yeah, well done to you and and to Hull for supporting it as well. Cracking ground, looks fantastic. Targets are fantastic.
Well done, well shot.
Thank you.
Well shot, you.
Thanks very much indeed.
A massive thank you from me and all who attended to the whole team at Barbary and Hull Cartridge for another unforgettable Pro 1 challenge. The effort it takes to make a shoot look and run this well isn't lost on any of us who attend.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting this event. Thank you for supporting Barbary. It's been, again, wonderful.
Thank you, David.
A pleasure.
Fun.
The Pro 1 challenge isn't just a shoot, it's a tradition. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see what next year brings.
Thank you for watching TGS Outdoors. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. This channel would not be possible without the support of our amazing sponsors. They've supported the channel for a long time. We only work with people we love and whose product we trust. If you want to support the channel too, make sure you check out channel memberships. There's early access content, there's some pretty cool exclusive release content.
My view is you never want to let the bird get past you because you can't see under your gun.
And occasionally we go clay shooting together. We just appreciate your support. Even if you can't, your view is great. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.